pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It's like dug in somehow.
Clifford Buffo.
Here.
Art Christie. Joanne Cow. Here. John Horn. Here. Alan Shiner. Here. Sam Spada. Here. Vivian Welton.
Off stage.
All right, has everyone had a chance to review the meetings from, the minutes from last meeting, excuse me? Any comments or corrections? If nothing, I'll take a motion to approve as written. Need a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye. Okay, no communications. All right, moving into old business. William McGuinn.
Subdivision was approved a while back, but I couldn't file it because I couldn't file it because he only had paid half his tax. So now he's got all his tax paid, so now he'll have to put it through again.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how you want to handle that.
Yeah, I guess we have to. We already had the public hearing, so I don't need to redo that. Okay. So we just have to vote to approve it again? Yeah.
So moved.
Clifford Buffo.
Yes.
Art Christie. Joanne Cow. Yes. John Horn. Yes. Alan Shiner. Yes. Sam Spada. Yes. Vivian Welton.
A lot easier if you do the exact same thing. Yeah, is that, are those ready to sign? Yeah, I'll do it. Oh, perfect. Yeah, no, I'll do it.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. Moving on to Verizon Wireless. You want to?
Good evening. My name is Scott Wilson, I represent Verizon Wireless. You obviously have a book before you, which represents our application. Not going to go through the whole thing, unless you want me to address any specific things. I would just do is give you a brief summary of what each of you do.
I'm sorry, Scott. What was your last name? Just for the
So, we're proposing a new cell tower off of Whitman River. 166 tower is a 4-foot lightning rod on top of it, so pole structure is 160 inches. And the big picture is what we're trying to do is we're trying to close a very large gap along 28 and going out from there. We have a site 6 miles away down in town hall, but we don't have anything for another 10 miles or so until you get to, we call it Shandaken site. It's in the northeast part of town, I believe. So this site will hopefully, well, not hopefully, if it's approved, will connect to the town hall site. And we have the radio frequency reports here. If you look at the pictures that show you the specific frequencies that we're using and where it's going to come on the system. It's half. This site will not cover the entire gap area. We are working on another site in Phoenicia, and we're trying to work with County also. We'll hopefully get that done in the next year. These two sites should have closed the gap in our current exists for a long time. That's a big picture we're trying to do. The application has a bunch of information in there. We've engineered analysis confirmed we are really complying with FCC requirements. We operate at very low frequency, very low power. We operate at 100 times less that we can actually operate. And we've got confirmation in our analysis in the application. We've got some site plans in there, we've got PAF, we've got a bunch of information happy to talk about, but with that, I just happy to answer questions or anything further that they may want to hear about.
This is on leased land,
It is on lease, yeah.
and how long is the lease for?
The lease is up to right now 25 years.
And what happens if you don't renew the lease? What happens with the equipment that's there?
The lease requires us to remove it and restore the property, including the tower. And then remove it. That said, I've been working for Verizon Wireless for 28 years or so. And in the New York area I'm responsible for, we've only taken down 2 towers, and that's only because we acquired another company, and we had basically now 2 towers in the same area, so took one down, so it's redundant. We typically, once we provide service to an area, the worst thing we do is to take that service away, so we do everything to avoid doing that. So my point is, we have a lease, if this gets approved, we will build it, and that's how we be here for 25 years, and more than likely not longer than that.
And is that leased to other vendors?
We, the lease is just us.
So I mean the service, the cell service.
We will lease or sublease to other carriers like T-Mobile and AT&T. The carriers have agreements, basically, we do it all the time.
Is there a map in here that shows what this is allow coverage?
Yes. Look at page 13 and then 14. Oh, tab 4, you're in the right exhibit. So if you go to page 13, that's going to show you the existing service for just one of the frequencies that we use, the 700 megahertz frequency. We use like 4 or 5 different frequencies to provide service, but the 700 and 2100 we provide in the report, those are the main frequencies that. And that shows you there's colors there. If you see orange, so here's, that's our site. We call it Voiceville downtown. But let me start here. Green. Green is good, easier to remember. So this green is very good coverage. Yes, but we're up here. If you have yellow, it's okay coverage. It's okay. It's not the best. Orange is not very good coverage. It's still a signal, but it's really not good enough to serve the community. If you see no color, these areas, that means it's, you have, doesn't mean there's absolutely no signal, but it's a worthless signal. It doesn't provide.
It's not functional.
Yeah, maybe one person might be something, they don't have one foot holding it. And then if you turn to the next page, that on page 14, that will show you, we had a bunch of green in this area along 28, and there's the yellow bars around it. That shows you back and forth. It shows you the increased service that we get for that specific frequency.
Line live in Chichester and I see no colors.
Where is that? Yeah, is that above Phoenicia?
Yes.
Well, what I mentioned was, it's not part of this application, but we are working on a site for Phoenicia, which is going to hopefully connect this area.
There'll still probably be Mount Tremper in the way, though.
You know, So that's the goal, we're trying to, that site again, we're about to file the application. So hopefully that will connect everything, and hopefully we have some services on that.
So what do we have? This is everything we have? I know that sounds like a ridiculous question. And in here, is our application in here? Okay. Do you know what we don't have in here?
The lease.
Just the lease, okay.
I'll write that down.
So these other maps, they're different signatures?
No, the RF engineer puts them in there. You're looking at, I think, the best server map.
Someone has three in it.
These are best. So this is a little different. This is a different frequency. This is 2100. This is, I'm sorry to confuse you. This is also the best server propagation, which means it's the model the same. This is the way you should be.
And this is with the existing tower.
So this is existing exactly. So this is not only the rest of the site we're talking about here. If you go to the next, then that's showing that this is the green area, that additional service you get for that frequency. 2100 megahertz frequency is higher than 700, and they don't propagate the same way because it's a higher frequency. They don't. 2100 doesn't go as far. So that's why comparing 700 to 2100, you'll see that 700 gets a lot more coverage. 2100 gets a little less coverage because of the different wavelengths.
Do you have like a view of the property or anything? Like, yeah.
So what we do is we have, look at the 8. That's, yeah, 8 is, it's a view shed map. And you're getting larger colors. But they're primarily 10, 8, yes. You got that right there. So there's a star kind of in the center, and that's the site location. And what this map shows is there's, I'm going to call it red, I guess, for road, maybe, I don't know what you want to call that. That color represents areas where the tower will not be seen because of the topography. So the mountains block, you can't see these areas. And then the other color, which is gold or yellow or something, those are areas where the tower will not be seen because of the page. So when you combine the two, there are very few areas in this 2-mile radius where the tower will be visible from. And it's a little easier to see on that next page, which is not an aerial map. Just a little to me, I can read that better. You look at it, you got it right.
Here?
Yeah. So, if
So this is the same.
It's the same one, it's just a regular map, not an aerial. I don't like the aerial, I can't see them well. But all this is, can't be seen, yeah, exactly. The white areas
are the areas where it's visible. Violet, yes, it's 1% of that radius area, 2%. But it's very little white area in there.
Couple, yeah, you can see it more on the next. If you go to the next page,
Yeah, there you go.
you can see the white better. Couple spots along 28.
That's primarily just topography, and the fact that you have some sort of bell land.
Does that take view shed year round or subject to when trees lose their leaves?
So this is not a leaf off type of view shed. It's with, it doesn't anticipate that, it just anticipates.
So you can see it in the winter.
Not necessarily, I mean, it's with less, you may have more visibility. Let me find out exactly. I think, the question was one a few times, I think they told me that it does consider some percent of leaf off. I'm not sure exactly.
There's probably still a lot of tree trunks in the way.
That's the thing too. But with leaves off, yeah, good more visible, but still it's very forested. It's still very much.
About halfway from Winnie to Four Corners.
Yeah.
question for the chair.
Yes.
Do we even have any say in this? I seem to recall that FCC and other things say that we can't say no to a request like this. Do we really?
Yeah, no, we have say in this.
What can we do?
The 11662.
Thank you.
But gives you great power.
Yeah, it is linked.
I mean, down to, if board were essentially to say it was an emergency, you just say, we're not gonna review it. Two, you can simply say there's too many towers.
I like having a dead zone is a good thing.
Right, but, so if we got to a point where board wanted something with too many towers, you could reject the application based simply on that. There's too many towers, we don't want to do it. The code gives you a great, local.
How come you're not in Woodstock with this monopole?
Because when you're engineering that Woodstock, I believe you're going to be over Mount Trumbull on the other side. And so, and then it's in one of the analysis here. If you're over there, you're going to have trouble reaching Route 28. That's kind of the purpose of it, to connect Town Olive through, through Route 28. Otherwise, on the other side, you're going to have to build a massive tower to get over,
And that analysis is in here?
Yeah, we go through the alternatives, just tab 5, and it's just a description of this is what we looked at, these properties we looked at, this is your engineer, determine it's tab 5.
And it's a special permit approved use in this zoning, I assume.
So it's a permitted use, but you now have a right to go through your special permit criteria to make sure that we comply with it.
And that was a great.
So that wasn't done with that, that is just a kind of, the use of a fairly sophisticated computer program that has topography, vegetation in there. We can do little tests,
I think that's part of our hour.
I think it is a visual
Yes.
component, but we would.
But it was specific to.
It says here the planning board may waive or any of, or other requirements.
A visual impact analysis, as described in appendix 1 of, I can find it for you if you need to. The planning design finding for review of application for, dated March 2001.
Yes, I remember that.
Code saying that must be submitted. But you can use that.
At the top of this thing,
Yeah, but
you
you
do roughly
could-
elevation 1100.
Because I can tell you that when we did the balloon study for a property in Misha,
Behind the diner,
yeah, I got a lot of calls on that.
yeah.
So I was wondering why I didn't get calls on that message.
We typically do not do a test before coming to the board, because so often the board, because if the board's going to require a test, we're going to want to get their input. You don't count out that we do. We'll provide you a list of locations that we need to analyze, but we're going to execute one else. Because we don't want to do little tests. Come here and the board says, this site, I guess we're spending $5,000 to mobilize this again. So that's why we typically wait.
And that time it all fell through because of that balloon.
The cell tower.
No, very recently. There was a test done.
Oh, recent, but it was 2001 that was behind it. I was there.
I just heard that you get $5,000 to put a balloon in the air.
No, the balloons that are.
I'm in the,
Yeah.
Oh,
So how long would it take you to do a balloon test to get that organized and up and done?
Although we are back up because weather, as nice kind of has been, got very windy years. Had scheduled at the beginning of November. I think they just completing tomorrow. We could, as long as the weather cooperates, we could have it scheduled in a week or 2 weeks or something like that.
This would be a good time of year with week off to take a look.
Yeah, I think this is like as revealing as it's going to be, so.
That's all that what, some people like that.
there anything in our code about this visibility?
Yeah.
People do things all the time.
It's specific.
There's a lot in the code about it.
About cameras?
Yeah. It's like 4 pages. No, I think it's far more than that.
This is a visual, it's, I think, 8 pages, right?
8 pages, yeah.
There's a visual analysis component. Provide a visual impact analysis of the road project as described in appendix 1. That's one.
Right.
Besides launching the balloon, what else is involved in the balloon?
So what we do is we will put the balloon up at the height of the tower. And then we have the people basically drive around the community within the 2-mile radius we saw. And they look to confirm that map where it's visible, they'll take photographs. Even in an area where it's not visible, just drive proof that it's not visible. And it's available at the locations. They'll take pictures of that and then simulate the tower. The balloon is used for scale purposes to get the right height.
So they'll then plug in the photos, they'll
We do
Photoshop the
that,
tower.
scale it properly, make sure it's exactly.
What color is the balloon?
Usually it's red. Yeah, I mean, it could be any color, it's gonna be a bright color. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that, I mean, yeah, it's good.
So this monopole is aluminum,
Galvanized steel.
galvanized steel. It's not kind that looks like a fake conifer tree or anything like that. It's just it's a utilitarian piece of equipment.
Correct.
I think we can request the Frankenfur if we want, though.
Is that what they call them?
Well,
You know more about this than I do. And presumably if this thing falls over and you've taken a look, it's pretty far up the hill. It's not going to fall on anybody else's house.
No, we comply fully with setbacks. We're at least 100% of the tower height setback and proper lines.
Okay.
And, you know, it's weird to say, like, these, when they're properly designed, constructed, they don't fall down. We have actually, I couldn't find one. There was a nasty string of tornado down in Kentucky 10 years ago. And it was such devastation, and the pictures weren't out, still standing. Doesn't mean anything. And there have been towers fall down. When they do, it's because they found out it was a design effect. Certain manufacturers want doing something right, you know, use that manufacturer. But it's we're fully compliant with setbacks.
So I was wondering, since the height of the tower is not high enough to visually clear the vegetation, is the vegetation deteriorating at some point, let's say?
Well, it's a good question, we can, but at this location, we will be above vegetation for our purposes, but I know what you're getting at. There will be some places where the vegetation kind of blocks it, but it's not enough to completely block it. It's still work. It's just that if we're on the other side of the mountain, you can't go to the mountain. 61 won't go to the mountain. They can go to leaves, but they can also absorb by the leaves too, so it's not perfect, but this, at this location, will be above 160 feet. Most of the vegetation are around us.
It's just people below it.
That's what it is, it's about angles, so if you're at a house down here and then you're here. You don't need a tall, you have a tree like this, we can't, you're locked, but the signal still comes down above it. Exactly.
and you have, somewhere in here, do you have a map of the access road on the site?
Exhibit 6, I believe we have a full set of engineering plans by town engineering. Yeah. I won't worry, it's part of it's a little steep. The steepest of the gives is around 21% slope, which is the maximum that Verizon Wireless will build on. Above that, I don't feel like it's sheet C1A. And B. Show you that. Yeah, sorry. C1B shows you the topography, an elevation. And then C1C shows you the second part of the road in the elevation.
CODA specifically for grade plan, center line profile, cross sections every 100 feet, and construction materials.
C-1B and C-1C provide the center line and road construction and the elevation. So that was survey.
Pretty thorough.
We've got down to something.
Rough, do you have any idea how far it is from Wittenberg, the site?
It's,
AG one
yeah, it shows you the I'm gonna say, you're looking at about 500 setbacks, SBD, 540 feet of setback.
I saw the application and the short EAF in the front here. Anyone else take a look at that on page like 5?
Yeah, we did
Did I
that.
say short?
Tab 7 is the full EAF.
Oh.
This won't involve the state historical preservation officership protocol. We don't think anybody uses them. This will not be lit. The FAA is not requiring painting, marking, lighting this. We're not going to less than the airport.
How close are you to, how close are you to 28?
Yeah, so 28.
Yeah, how far, what's the distance to 28 from the tower? We get the world with 2 bombs on 28
Yeah, they come right down 28.
at exactly the right height, with no markings.
Hard to say, but probably half, 3/4 of a mile.
Yeah, that's,
That's a read wrong.
How high, do you know the average tree height in that area? Like how high above the trees would you be?
160, you're probably 80 feet-ish. Tree height, 70, 80 feet.
I wonder what the regulations are, even though you say there are no airports, if there's flights that come through. And they come through lower than my house. I look down on them.
They do that to, the army planes, their military planes flying under the radar.
Oh, are they fighters?
No,
They
no.
usually, no, they're trained.
Big cargo, yeah, they fly up the corridor to train.
Because I see the avionics, because they fighters, that's what they practice.
Yeah, the Raptors overhead there.
This is free.
Okay.
And they cut, what they do is they fly over 28, which is the lowest, but they cut, at every turn, they cut in away from 28, which puts them lower to the ground, but not low enough to be a violation.
How low?
They cut below my house.
Wow.
Like I'm up on the 3rd floor and I thought they're like gonna come in my office window. That's how low they are.
100 feet over this right here. But that's a high point of 28. So what they do is they don't make adjustments as they fly with 28, but they don't make adjustments for the change in altitude of 28, and they come in and out.
Yeah, I don't know how they do their flight patterns, but if they're flying that close to the tower, I mean, they're close to.
I mean, we have other cell towers in the area. They're flying.
Right.
This isn't the first cell tower.
Are they doing it during night?
No, they do it during the day
They don't
sometimes.
have a day.
Because
I mean, they'll see it.
because I have hemlock trees, and the guy, he hit the top of the hemlock tree on my property. I saw the tree going,
The pilot?
the pilot did, yeah. What kind of plane? It was just a gray plane.
No more propellers? Yeah.
Yeah.
Propeller plane, no more.
I assume a large part of their job is not to crash into things. I'm not.
But he did hit the top of my tree.
It can be a little,
Yeah.
I have one of those big picture windows. I'm sitting on the sofa and I'm looking right at it.
It's very neat. I'm less worried about planes flying into it.
If you see one that says drive, training,
Student driver.
Student driver, it says.
but this is the, it's gonna be going up the mountain, so I think it would be unusual for any military aircraft, other aircraft, even if they're flying kind of in between the valley, to get that close to that.
Okay.
But that would be very unusual.
So, all right. I mean, everything is.
So what do we have to do?
I think we need to do the balloon test. We need to get that ball rolling. The question is timeline, I guess. I feel like the balloon test should be up before a public hearing. So how
You need to
long?
think about how you're going to secret. There is an endangered species somewhere in there. I don't know what it is. It's just.
Gotta be a
It's gotta be,
Endangered species, yes.
gotta be rattlesnakes and eagles, right?
We'll have some down there. Right?
Yeah, and yeah, we just double check that. Or the long you're at.
Each,
But they just have
It's a microcontroller, right? They're microcontrollers.
So what happens is we just double check where we are. No, this is.
She'll take the snakes.
We need that.
So what we'll do with that whole thing, obviously, what we do is, we will consult with DEC, basically, and they will look at our plan, and they will propose addition on us, we have to take trees down, don't quote me on something like that, exactly the timing, but there is basically no tree cutting, period. It's what the eagles will basically in their nest all the time. Usually it's from March, I forget what it was actually, November to March, vice versa. Anyway, it's not going to stop the project, and we'll have education on it, they're sure we'll take any trees, nests down, if we see anything, we can call the experts in, but we will have something from DEC on that. That's part of our, it's called the NEPA review, it's the National Environmental Policy Act. Because we have a license from the FCC, we have to comply with NEPA on our own. We don't just have to comply with it, make sure we're fully compliant with everything. We don't have to give it to anybody, we keep our files. As part of that, we're gonna pick up the whole legal, and we'll have to deal with the EC on that issue. So, and we'll let you know what the conditions are.
Yeah, like an encounter plan, basically.
Yeah, that, and then they'll say don't cut trees during a certain period, so we'll have to start structures, usually 6 months period, can't cut trees, so we just work around it. Yeah. Not that I'm aware of. Oh, I've seen big utility towers, like the electric ones, I've seen some there.
Out west, I've seen a lot of that.
Yeah. So, but the towers provide really that, it's just a nominal tower, it's really not a lot of area for them to build in.
Grace, did you know how this is classified? Did you look at that up? Did you get that far?
What I'll do is I'll have Tectonic together a list of locations that we post to analyze, I'll send it to the board. And I don't know if you want to just before our next meeting, just decide, hey, are there other locations to look at, or we have to have a meeting for that.
So you'll put up balloons at several locations simultaneously?
It's at one location,
Okay.
and that would be basically, that's our visual cue at that location. Can we see some balloons from a certain area? If we can, you know the tower was seen from that area. So in that map, what is it, 7 or 8, whatever it is, the color map, 8, anyway. There's some white areas that we think they can be visible. We're going to definitely go to those white areas to see. We're going to go to other areas also.
So, I'm sorry, the list of locations, you're talking about locations where it's viewable from, not locations where the tower would go.
Yes, locations from which you think it could be viewable, or there's an area where public congregates and will visit and have that view. We're going to Catskill Mountain, right?
And the balloon will be anchored at the site of the proposed location.
Exactly, correct. Yes. So we'll provide a list of the locations that we think are relevant to analyze, and then like you to look at that list and see if there's anything else. Because again, you know your town better than we do.
So they still have to work with your website?
No.
Or they were on the beach side?
For Indonesia, we're working on that on something. But not this one, like, no, I don't.
Because I don't remember, town.
Yeah, no, this site is not something we're working on. They don't have any need for this. Their needs are a little, are much different from ours. Because the frequencies they use, there's such a low frequencies, they go a lot further. So they do their emergency services, and they're using 55 megahertz per take. That goes a long way. So they don't use these towers as we do.
Do you also, are you in charge of putting in the small towers, like along the roads?
We've done small cells.
I mean, like for 28, there are spots there, if you have an accident, you can't call anybody.
And our goal with this tower, and what we're working on in Phoenicia, is to cover 28 and surrounding areas. We hope that so what we end up doing first is to build these macro sites, the bigger tower sites. They will evaluate the service, and if they find certain areas that aren't really served, but there are people that need the service, that's when they fill it in with small cells, because small cells will go 1,000 feet or so rotating compared to these sites that go a couple miles.
How tall are they?
Oh, small cells, they're no over 50 feet tall. Usually about 50, we go about 50 feet. But by federal law, small cells can't be taller than 50 feet.
Yeah, I can't find it, I went through it twice.
There's stuff about telecommunication cables, not about.
What do you look for?
I just see how it's categorized, if it's a type 1 or type 2. I didn't even see the cables. Okay.
It's on something,
It's on this.
Yeah.
think they guys want more report review because
Yeah, and the DEC should weigh in. So, we should circulate for lead agency, I suppose, right?
well, once they're ready, they don't have a lot of information, not a requirement.
Do we need that before?
You want to complete application before you put it in.
Yeah.
And do you want to also? Or do you want to
They don't need.
You guys think we're good? I mean, you can see it or you can't see it. I mean, you're not clearing any more than a single-family residence would. You've already reached out to the DEC? Or you will?
Find out exactly where, usually they start that process around the same time as I was start. I'm not all within it, but I keep people ourselves, find out where they are.
Okay.
The big problem is gonna be people that are against it because they can see it.
Right.
That
Yeah,
already
oh yeah,
have cell
that'll
service.
be right up there.
That already have cell service.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, that's, I mean, that's. so it's
And that's
gonna-
appropriate, nobody wants us in their backyard.
Right, well, it's gotta be somebody.
You want it in your
I have one
Ouch.
in my front yard.
I mean, either, there's no compromise, either it is or it isn't. You get the cell service or in the tower or you don't. All right, so find out about the DEC, begin the visual impact study, and I don't know if we need to wait until we circulate.
No. But I wouldn't expect it at this point because, although we did reach out to the neighbors, many of the neighbors didn't respond to us, they may be aware. Like we reached out in terms of, hey, are you interested in leasing the property? And there are, if you look at it again, is there a fire or anything? A bunch of the neighbors just didn't respond, so they may be aware of this, but they may not be really thinking about it.
And where the location is there cell service there now, in that location? If,
I'm trying to be funny. Generally, no, it doesn't mean there's not signal there, that someone might be able to pick up, but it's not.
I've heard people say that there's some service.
I was gonna say, I think
But I don't think it's very.
it's not good, yeah, like you have it for a second and then it goes right away.
So what, I think more detail I want to, so trouble, but this is like for the engineers. So the chemistry service there in the 700 megahertz frequencies. The problem with our 700 megahertz frequencies is that it's only 10% of our bandwidth. So it's like, it's the frequency that goes the farthest, but we have such a tiny bandwidth that we can't serve everyone that needs it. So you may have some people that access it, but not everybody can access it. That's why we're at 2100 megahertz, because we have much more bandwidth. We have less, I don't know what it is, but it's a lot more than, it's 90% of our service. Right now, we have no 2100 megahertz in this area. But they may be accessing 700 megahertz.
so what, like, if you have an Apple phone, how does it know where to go? On what frequency?
Through the software, the Verizon software, it will figure out, it'll find a tower, that closest tower, because it finds the closest signal.
So it'll use either one, whatever it gets.
Well, it can't use 21 right now, because it doesn't exist. So it's connected to 700 right now.
You mean in our area or everywhere?
In this area specifically. In areas where you have all the frequencies operating, the software will dictate it.
So a phone can go on whatever frequency it wants to.
Does the 7 or 2100 correlate to anything we would know, like 3G, 4G, 5G?
So it's all 5G in the sense that it's the fifth generation, but you may have read about some 5G, very high frequency. This is not what that is. That frequency is called 35,000 megahertz. We're talking 2100 megahertz. That's the 5G, that's for a city, basically, that crazy one. But I can pull my phone out now, I'm pretty sure I have, just LTE, which is 4G, but there's like maybe an area that's 5G. It's just because it's next generation equipment.
On my phone, if I open it up, can I see what frequency I'm connected to?
You can't do that, but you can't do that unless you know how to go into it. And the engineers probably can, but we don't know what we can.
So that's something that's completely internal. doesn't manifest as a number of bars or it's just.
Yeah, basically the software is going to figure it all out. It's gonna, your phone is gonna detect what frequency is there, what the signal strengths are, and it's gonna use correct frequency. Verizon will assign certain frequencies, just telephone use, broadband. It's pretty complicated how they do that.
How long do you expect construction to take once you begin?
Oh, if you begin, 2 months.
2 months.
2 months, or, once you complete the zoning approval process, other due diligence, we have utilities lined up, or the tower under construction, so there's some lead time. But once it's started, 2 month process.
And what's the, after you pass through the approval portion, what type of lead time are you looking at?
I just know that this was scheduled for 2025.
Okay.
So probably sometime in spring-ish, summer, I think that would be optimal for them.
Okay.
Give them about the other ball.
You do the clearing in advance.
That's exactly. If we can get the approvals that we needed, we would have, I think it's March 31st, that we have to have all the clearing done by. As long as that's done, and we have the Eagles, we can build the rest.
Okay.
So,
I'll get you the list, I'll get you the status of the DC. Once I get you the list, how will you get you back by other locations? I mean, do we have to have a meeting for that? I don't think it's necessarily do, because that's something.
we have a workshop in 2 weeks, so, we basically every 2 weeks, you could spend time with us if you'd like.
It is the Wednesday before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
But the December workshop, it's can't take up Thursday.
Oh.
It's the last workshop.
You can email the office and they can disseminate from there, and we can decide if we need you to come to a meeting or.
I think I would suggest that you guys can circulate it and all have ideas about what locations. I think that's accessible. I don't think it's like either, but again, that's on the open.
All right, and let us know, keep us in the loop as far as the visual impact study.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be the biggest.
I will, I'll get you guys, hopefully have those in the next week or so.
Okay,
All right,
great,
thank
thank
you.
you. Rensselaer Grads LLC.
Is it the parking lot?
Is this the parking lot?
What happened with it? I was driving up there with my husband, I'm like, you're supposed to build it over here. Like, there's nothing.
We tried.
Yeah. Ah.
So the middle section is outlined as a
Oh, this here.
Yeah.
you're giving this
This is just a lot line adjustment, right?
Yeah. Yes, right there. Application for lot line adjustment.
What do you mean? I'm doing a lot line adjustments so that you will help me understand. It's like, I see the very black line and then the other lot lines appear to be dashed and very light. What's going on? That's line is just the road. Right, that's what I'm talking about. These look like proper lines.
It's just that garage, that's it.
See, this is clearly a block line. That's a house.
Yeah, that little,
Houses along the road area, and the three houses in the middle, and then everything around it is the rest of the grass. I'm just carving off a little portion. So some of this black line is a property line that exists? Everything but this little carve out is the existing 1.34 acres that belong to this house right now. Okay. And this is where it was like. So the addition is this, the addition is just that little L1. Okay. L2, L3. So that was buying some land from Rensselaer Ranch, is that? Yeah.
yeah.
Trying to be a big neighbor. And you're representing Rensselaer Ranch?
I am representing, representing them as well.
I only ask you, you wouldn't want the homeowner to come and say, yeah, I'm gonna take this little bit.
What is the zoning in this area?
What's that?
What's the zoning here? Oh, there it is, I see it. It says 1.5 on the map.
But it's in the.
It's in the center, right in the center at the bottom. Above that block.
And it's just.
No.
Well, it's just a building.
Proposed.
Which has setback on.
Now, space, build this. You're not feeling that.
Making a small lot bigger.
Pretty straightforward. Do we have the application, Jim? So we're all good to go?
Yeah.
Yes, right here.
I haven't get that far.
Look in your phone.
Verizon, look, wait a minute.
Right, it's hard to get that.
The Verizon's book. we did, yeah, we,
But that's all.
yeah.
No, it wasn't me. It was the previous one.
No, that's the name.
It was, Peter Ferguson.
Yes, yeah.
So on the short environmental assessment for the answer is yes, it's well vague.
The ship, yeah, but just because it's, I guess that building is, right? The existing building. The historic, it's the question about SHPO. Does the project site contain or is it substantially contiguous to a building, archaeological site or district, which is listing on the National or State Register of Historic Places?
There's no telling what Pine Hill is historical.
Oh, so that's why it gets exception. Okay.
I didn't draw that one, I think that.
I mean, it's just a lot line. It's just a lot line adjustment. That doesn't really,
Well, there's going to be eventually a garage.
yeah.
Oh, you might guys come in for visiting.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to apply for a garage that fits in the carve out. That's it.
Right, obviously, we know something builder does that form.
Okay, everybody have a chance to review the shore DAF?
Yes.
Any questions, comments? Any other questions for Mr. Dignas? All right. We can move forward with this.
Yeah.
I may make a motion to approve the line items as drawn and described by Mr. Dick.
I'll second.
Clifford Buffo?
Yes.
Art Christie? Joanne Cowell?
Yes.
John Horn? Alan Shire?
Yes.
Sam Spada?
Yes.
Vivian Welton?
Just get me all the maps and all.
You're gonna have to get my large to do, and make it about signs and stuff, or else the county will wait. So when you have, we can take these down after the sign out here, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, yeah.
Here's one there.
And the Mylar.
You pass that up here, John?
Been a long day.
Pass that up, I'll roll these three together at least, so we're not.
I think it's 8 top. For us, yeah, and county's gonna need one more. Well, yeah,
Here, Roy.
Right.
Thank you. Have a good evening. Leah?
Site map I showed you guys 2 weeks ago at the, workshop. Oh, yeah, you have it.
Yeah, I have.
So, yeah, I'm here and asking for special use. Based on the workshop,
Know where you are, John?
No.
4 months, the Phoenicia Garage. 4 months place.
Is this the old Infinite?
Yes.
Oh, okay, now I know.
Yeah, right by 214. Across
Right
from
by the
214.
creek, yeah.
Right by the creek.
And for the guys, I can give, should I give it more background?
Yeah, you should go back through it because that was just a workshop, the public can see this.
Sorry.
That's okay.
So the property is mixed use commercial residential. I currently have my main house that I live in and one accessory dwelling unit. So I have additional garages on the property that have been used for various things, including the auto body shop and it's currently zoned as a workshop. And so I want to renovate two of the sheds, one garage and one shed into additional ADUs. But in order to do that, so basically to change the use of capital development, but in order to do that, I need a special use permit to be able to renovate these two structures.
Which are existing.
Everything's already existing. There's a septic system that already exists, that runs to the two buildings. I have the drawings already, made, I've already submitted the building permit, and that's how I'm here, is because based on zoning, you can't have more than two dwelling units on the same property. So there wouldn't, there's no significant change, basically is like, but, I mean, it's changing use.
So in total, after the work, if this is approved, you'd have your main home and how many accessory units?
Three. Yeah, but I think that by changing to a cottage development, it would allow me to, should I want to add like an additional, rat farm or something like that down the road, it would all still fall under the cottage or cabin development, rather than coming,
Wait, what? Say that part again?
So rather than coming to you guys.
No, before that, the Brad's Barnes part.
Oh, just like, I want, my understanding is that, yes, so yes, that's how many I have. But the part that I was saying is that if I wanted to renovate another one of the buildings that are on there, or I have other structures that exist. If I want to renovate another one, I would still go through the building application process, of course. What?
It would still require this board to approve. What, theoretically, in a perfect world, gets approved exactly as is, for all these uses. But if you wanted to, in the future, we are changing some on the map, changing one of the other uses is right back here.
Even if the use of the property is a cabin development?
The only permits I'm allowed to approve for face out there is for a single or two-family residence.
Because you're amending the site plan.
Yes.
Right.
You would be approved for exactly this.
Totally, that's so far down.
Yeah.
So disregard.
So, one of these says cafe and one of them says
That
carport.
Yeah, the cafe, that should never have been written, it's not a cafe. It's currently a two-bay garage. The hope is that that becomes, that's.
Oh, that's the you have a different, this is the,
Yeah, I just
Show
showed
you
you
the septic.
on my site, yeah. So
this is the one you're operating.
Yeah, the one that says cafe was my septic drawing, that actually got amended when it was resubmitted to CWC because I don't plan on putting a cafe in there.
Okay.
Like something more.
You're calling it a multi-use space.
Right, exactly.
So it's a building.
Right, and it would, there may be coffee that is served there, but it would be like a percolator, sort of think of it more like a combination of like a general store, lounge, community space.
A five-occupied structure, this
So
kind of
now,
shed.
right, and
And
you're
the-
making this look like an all commercial enterprise.
Not the whole thing, because I went there.
So the house will remain a house, the carport will remain a carport,
Yes.
but every other building, and the shed will remain a shed.
There will still be two sheds on the property that stay sheds in this iteration. There is a carport that will remain a carport and will be taken down.
Okay.
Now, isn't this driveway here an easement for that person that's all the way in the back?
Yeah, that would change. Yep. So nothing would change structurally on the property. It would just be the interiors of these two buildings. I would add insulation to one of the sheds, put it in a little mini kitchenette, bath and toilet.
Now-
The other one, there would be added.
Are the septic tanks, are the septic systems there? Are those existing? You have 1,000 gallons and 250?
And the,
Yes, the facility is already there.
But when it was approved, what was it approved for?
Those are for this.
For how many bedrooms?
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like that, but I've looked at the paperwork and that they approved the design without this plan board saying they use zero. I've never seen anything like it. I mean,
Well, they own that property a long time. The people supporting it, they own that property.
No, but she has to have septic design based on these uses that you're seeing here, even though there was a plan board approvals for those uses. I've just never seen anything quite like
So
it.
what is a cottage development? We can't, is it multiple separate buildings on the same?
Yes, there are.
yeah, it's here, I've got it right here. Any parcel of land on which are located 2 or more cottages, cabins, or other accommodations of a design or character suitable for seasonal or other temporary living purposes, including summer colony and resort, but not including a mobile home park, a camping or travel trailer park, boarding house, hotel, or motel.
And so that is, in and of itself, exactly what I want to do, but that is only allowed, I know why, in residential property, which means like, you start, that's a commercial, but we'll just
So that
describe
you
it.
cannot have it in commercial property.
Shorter-term rentals. Which is weird,
But the-
Usually it's the opposite, we're trying to.
Currently, the one that I have is function as a short-term rental, as a short-term rental. There's no, like, I have had friends stay there for an extended period of time, a few months at a time, but my goal is to get these available to be rented in some capacity. So, based on the feedback I got about the workshop, the recommendation was basically to allow this cottage / developments in 40 exists in the zoning code for residential, to allow this being a mixed use commercial residential, to allow this property to fall under that category.
It says available for rental transient, so does that mean it would not be subject to short-term rentals?
Absolutely. Correct. This would be a commercial, so it does require parking.
So she's not beholden to the short-term rental, she's not, doesn't have to get a license separately or anything like that? Okay.
But she will be added to our commercial, developments and it will get fire and safety inspections as they are appropriate. Is this multi-use space for that? Is that going to be open to the public or available only to your guests?
It would be open to the public, depending on what it is, how public or no public. Yeah.
Depending on what it is.
What does it say there?
Meaning, for example, like Ramco has like a similar space, let's say, and that is generally open if it's for guests. I see them open it up to the public, or like if they have a movie screening or something like that. So my expectation is not to just like 24-hour, anyone come at any time, but also some of this has to do, the reason I say I don't know why I said deduce is because some of this has to do with like my capabilities as like a single person and as a single business person. So like my goal is that it is a space where there's like, it integrates, there's maybe like a little bit of a shop, so like some curated vintage, maybe some like cool high-end snacks that like some fresh produce that you might not be able to get at the little market. There would be free coffee for the guests that are staying there. So those sorts of things. There might be like a lounge that people stop by and hang out. would be available for the community to use.
So this is an as-of-right development, it sounds like.
No, the cottage bill does not allow that in a commercial zone.
It is not allowed in Manhattan.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
So she's gotta go to ZBA for that?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is.
No, it was, so,
Yeah, it's complicated and yet not that complicated.
So we'll-
Like, because it exists, I don't know what the process.
we'll need to see parking spelled out, like number of spaces accounted for.
According to our code, delineated, you know.
It looks like we have 2, 3, 4, 5, probably maybe have 7 or 8 spaces.
Right, and I have, it's about, I would have to check the exact dimensions, but it's about like 50, let's say 60 feet on one side and maybe 50 feet on the other.
So we're not, a space is 9 by 20, and it says you need one for each cottage or cabin plus spaces for employees. And yourself, of course, included in that.
There's 2
Two for the house, okay.
Yeah, there's absolutely,
And they don't have to be in the same spot. I mean, they don't have to be together.
okay, yeah.
Total, anywhere you want to put it.
Cool. There's absolutely plenty of 500 babies.
What about the, multi-use space?
We might be able to approve based on this level of drawing?
That's for you all to decide. It's a little,
It's sketchy.
no one's sketchy, but it's not as until this year's receipt, but that's.
You mean sketchy?
Yeah, I think I'm happy to show you something that's like a little more detailed. Obviously, I said I have my drawings for the 2 buildings. There isn't, but you guys can let me know if there's something more specific, parking, spaces outlined.
You know, you may be able to use this if you made it larger and had a scale on it.
Well, it
You
needs
need
to be,
to know how big everything is.
Sure.
we need, well, we need a stamp on it.
It has a stamp.
Well,
Well, this is a septic thing. That's what you're.
right,
Joe
that's,
Bones this map.
that's, which is my point. This
So
is,
and the same exact plan, drawn by a different engineer.
Not the same.
No, because-
because they need to see.
we need the
size
parking
of
space, because we need to know that the parking spaces are officially signed off on as to scale and not, you know.
They're maybe back out of space, the way it's all, and then you're.
So, okay.
It's basically this, but official. We can't just,
Because this will have to go to public hearing, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's steer it.
Twice for the variance and for
I wish I had your 2 weeks ago, you guys told me that specifically, so that I would have brought that today. My thought was that would cover all those 2 weeks ago, so it was totally okay if I can't be approved. But I thought coming today was.
Oh, we can approve it right away.
We have to go to ZBA
We have to
first.
go to ZBA.
I thought that this was to get the special use permit, and then I was,
No, you can't get stuff done without the.
Yeah.
So what?
You come here, you need to go to the ZBA. They and us are both going to need, a properly drawn map. And then, assuming you get their approval, then you can come back here and we can give our approval. But we can't approve without the variance. And you can't go to the ZBA without coming to us first. So you have to, this is how it had to happen. There's no extra steps in here. These are the steps that you have to go through.
Okay.
If you were in Hamlet residential, I guess, then we wouldn't need the variance, but you're not. So.
Right. Okay, so next steps are.
An application with the ZBA for use variance.
Yes.
Right.
They are meeting next Wednesday. If
Yeah.
you can get more work.
And you can help with that, right?
I can help them get work, help them out.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
Looks like it'll be an easy.
And then you'll come back to us,
Yep.
and they'll have a public hearing.
Okay, so ZBA next week is.
For, in a more detailed plan. So you apply to ZBA, just theoretically, they have to set their own public hearing if they feel the application is legal for December, and then they can approve. Their meeting is after there, so you can't get back to them in January. They say something in February, so you don't have to have your application. And following that meeting in February, then you go yes or no for the special meeting. But that's a perfect world, everybody's happy with all paperwork. You're not
February 12th.
And just to clarify, the reason that all of this has happened is that I want to start renovating. And so nothing, I can't do anything until the spring, basically. That's what this is all saying. I'm just thinking.
Anybody's saying that, you have existing structures you're entitled to maintain.
But that's what I thought, and that's how I am here, because I was trying to do that.
Well, you're not trying to maintain the structure, you're trying to change their use.
I'm trying to upgrade them, so like,
You can call it whatever you want, but you're changing the structure. That's here.
right.
So you could do some work that's not like the roof. You could
If
roof.
you have to do the roof permit, go ahead, if you want to change up the windows, go ahead. The problem is the same thing comes when I want to move the garage doors or put it in man doors, because I don't have a better way of putting it, then I have to leave, and then I have to know.
Right. I guess I just lost at like the timeline, meaning like, if I were, let's say I were to just, if I were to do whatever, add a bathroom, right? You do it. Right, but I'm saying, okay, yeah, I guess I'm just trying to figure out how to parallel.
So you wanted to start this soon? That's what it was.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, absolutely. And it's just taking a long time to get to where I am right now, to finally be able to do it. And it's fine. It's just, and I will continue to wait. It's just like, I thought I can start on this process knowing that like I'm going to need to go through this process to change the use of the property. But to not be able to like do any of the renovations, because I need to change the entire use of the property in order to add bathrooms to a more decent structure, that feels hard. And I was trying to figure out like how to just parallel that, meaning like add a bathroom, start on this, and knowing that like this is all still in the works. Like, right? It feels like
I physically cannot sign on those applications without this board to approve, and they have to use these in a certain way.
You would be proceeding at risk, possibly, probably illegally, so we can't advise you to do that.
And then it's stop work order, and then it's fine, and it's just an amendment. And there's floods on it all, and then we dealt with stuff.
There's no.
Yeah, she's in the flood zone.
Oh, the floods are- oh.
But they're existing already.
yeah.
I mean, honestly, really, even if you did just want to do the roof, I think you'd be right back here.
Yeah.
Anywhere you do it, the green restrictions, you're going to require fire support, or even just fix the roof. Like, it's not.
It's complicated, but that's the way it is.
February will be fixed.
Does she need a floodplain development permit?
That's a conversation, I don't even know.
So that's,
What-
yeah,
what-
talk to her.
what-
about- That's not us, that's nothing to do with us.
I think that technically for commercial structures, really, if you get approval, you can probably do floodplain, but you gotta talk about that.
Okay, I like it, I think great.
No, it's part of the process, it's not always. Okay, anything else on here?
Joanne, is that September? You guys have to advertise the position. Right. Interview. So you have to advertise the resolution, and you want to set a time for the interviews for next month, that week.
Yeah, after that next month, we're out of,
Who's up to September?
Yep,
we're out of months.
right, and we gotta start advertising right away.
I'll talk to you.
Yeah. tomorrow, so then, so that'll be for the December meeting, we'll have interviews,
Yes.
right? And then we're,
And does this mean we have no workshops for November or December?
November's still on, I've already got something.
November, for November. The day
Thanksgiving
before.
Eve?
Yeah. It's late this year.
Yeah.
28, 29.
I have to do it all by myself. I'm not
December,
just making decisions.
Thanksgiving Eve?
we talked, no, we all talked about it.
I wasn't,
No, everyone but you.
not in either, right?
Number one.
I think we talked about it and then trailed off. November
The 10th that we meet?
27th.
November 25th. We could. Like for the 26th, the day before, maybe,
We always run to the town board meeting.
Tuesday, it's a Tuesday. Anything going on here Tuesday?
Be willing to show up.
Yeah, see what Joyce has to say, if there's anything.
You have someone scheduled?
Yeah, I don't know if they'll be here.
It's the,
Who's coming?
it's the, yeah, the 214, I'm sorry, the Silver Hollow House guy, cantilevered
No,
cable house. Well, it was next week or next month or last month, on like, as the 8th agenda item,
he was here last month. Yeah.
2 months ago. He wanted to come last month, but he would have gotten
Since then, spoke with the highway and had more correspondence with DC.
He's ditched the
And now
carport,
it's
right?
changed things.
He ditched the carport and the,
Everything's shifted a little, angled a little, switched the driveway. So far, but
Away from the
It's
water?
still hanging over the water?
No, it is, so,
over the floodplain, not the water. The 500-year flood.
it's hanging, not the structure touches any flood.
Yeah.
But the decking hangs over the 500 years. So that's a big. That's why I
That's way up there. All right, but we should cancel the December workshop now because it's Christmas Day, right? Do we have it? Yeah.
I'll come here and say it.
So that's, I'm saying that's official, right?
yes.
We need to vote on, we need to vote on it.
We did it at the beginning of the year.
Okay.
So we're out, you want to start our interviews or
Or after?
after?
I think after. I think it's better to do them at the end. Plus they can sit through a meeting and decide if they really want to commit to this. Yeah.
How many people we have coming in that day? How do we know when after?
Oh, you have some counting?
Yes.
This year, they received an $900,000 budget to start an assessment of the water and sewer districts of all towns in the county. And so it's going to be a year plan, it's going to take a lot of time. They want to look at the map, all the boundaries of the water and sewer systems and find out the lines, there's a lot of pipeline coming up the side of it. And since the town is growing, and looking at businesses and homes, they don't really know how some of our systems can handle it. So this is an assessment of the business.
Even in Shandaken, they're in her.
They said all of them.
I mean, the only towns that have.
All of those.
Pine Hill and Phoenicia. I know.
And boil water alerts.
And boil water.
And also the mountains is running in snow cones. They're done. Sometimes I go there and walk in like.
Hunter started doing
Well, they get their
it. The Hunter started.
from the lake. No, from the lake they take it.
Bel
With the lake
Air
there.
Beach.
With the beach.
And there's there's at least one other reservoir.
Fire department's supposed to learn using pipes right now, for the water.
Because, you know, the Pine Hill water comes from up on top at the Crystal Springs. And that's dry.
This isn't a spring thing that you're using now? I must have their whole water. I don't know, maybe I
So, yeah, that's what I saw.
Fix was what they, where the water is, they had to move the equipment for water. Water has never been that level in history, so the idea was fine, they had to lower it. And it took a couple days to get air out of the system, so they take out water. But there's still water.
Yeah.
Well, everything clears.
And they haven't closed any businesses.
For whatever reason, my fire might not be fire. So, hello, please come forward.
We had a fire the other day, right? 428 is dead.
600. It was up to 600. But it's almost, it's like 95% contained.
Where, the Claryville?
The Denning one.
Claryville?
Denning,
Yeah, the other side of,
They saw it in pieces.
over the mountain.
Yeah, scary. 185 firefighters involved in it.
We got calls from friends in Kingston saying they can see the smoke from the forest fire. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's up behind where I live, up on the top of the mountain. Oh, really? Oh, please, you just beside himself.
You gotta find fire. Yeah, so we will have, we will hear.
Okay. Tell Joyce.
Little barrel, screwed together barrel. So, we're
Motion to adjourn?
yes, yeah, please.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
What are we doing with Verizon?